it's electric. Don't hate, I'm still unaffected. Chipper on my shoulder, I move undetected. She said, pop the question got deflected. Man, that made my boy, then my brethren. Let's cut to the chase. It's only on the house when we in the place. My used to lava boys got it up in some flames.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
With my wrist souffle. Shaka Zulu chains with my name engraved. Don't say my name in vain. You rang? Spending all the money, then we watch.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Belt, angry face like. Put some gold on my fingers, neck, and shoestrings. Long time no see, that's what they say when they see me, man. I've been going crazy just to stay sane. Hey, your girl went missing, who's to blame? Young whippersnapper with the range. Pause, then I went to range. Call that hottie on my stage. Long week.
The Falcons are now on the clock.
So it got me like sage. And on me, you should get a raise. On me, yeah, you can hate.
Know your place, yeah, know your place, yeah. I got like right now, I'm impatient. I got women on the cell trying to give me. I still wish it would, I still wish I'm well, yeah. Put my problems in. Only check up when the checks come.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
Looking blessed up. All the talking never stressed us. They talking like they jealous of me. They talking like they never love me. I still treat them like some.
The Rams are now on the clock.
I've been working 25 hours every day. Pull up with the bands, hey. Pull up with the bands, have them dancing in the rain. Yo.
The Patriots are now on the clock.
I got
The Packers are now on the clock.
I got women on the cell trying to give me. I still wish it would. I still wish I'm well, yeah. Know your place.
The Panthers are now on the clock.
I got right now. I'm impatient. I got women.
The Browns are now on the clock.
I still wish it would. I still wish I'm well, yeah. Promises and wishes, candles for my exes now.
The Texans are now on the clock.
Now, promises and wishes, trust me, it's been different now. No rings for the things I go missing now. Promises and wishes. Why would I ever start celebrating? Why would I ever start celebrating? I'm naming all the hearts I've been breaking. I'm naming all the hearts I've been breaking. The shower's on the way. I've been working 25 hours every day. Pull up with the bands, have them dancing in the rain. Pull up with the bands, have them dancing in the rain. Yo. Know your place, yeah, know your place, yeah. I got like right now, I'm impatient.
The Seahawks are now on the clock.
Trying to give me. I still wish it would, I still wish I'm well, yeah. Know your place, yeah, know your place, yeah. I got like right now, I'm impatient. I got women on the cell trying to give me.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
I still wish I'm well, yeah.
The Raiders are now on the clock. The Raiders have just made Blanchard their guy. Let's hear more about him from our guy, Adam.
The key concern I've been hearing from several GMs is that he simply isn't in good enough physical shape to see significant action early in the season. Even with a full off-season of NFL conditioning, the feeling is that he will not be able to stay on the field every down and maintain that high level of play coaches want out of their guys. The game never slows down at this level. He's going to have to get in better shape if he wants to be an every down player. This is a kid who may eventually make an impact in the league, but it may take an entire year to get his body into the kind of shape needed to make an impact at this level.
Flame, hold on, I can make it rain. Oh, do you hear the thunder? Don't let it bring you down. Good girl, see the light. You're not alone, don't give up like that. Oh yeah, got a ways to go. Break that wall, let the spirit flow. I know you ain't there yet. Don't stop to catch your breath. You're going higher and higher, higher and higher. Let go, set me free. Got the streets all I need. Going higher and higher, higher and higher.
The Chargers are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock.
People trying to say I'm only enemy. Got a code with my dogs, can't get in between. I can give them life, no more energy.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
Amen. Spent about 60 on the time, I can't even lie. No way in, no way out, do or die. So on roll, when I roll, must be. Amen. Man. I can't ride Benz, I don't do peace. I beast, I gotta eat. Saber tooth, tiger, diamond tooth teeth. Rockin' right now, won't you come peek? I was outside. The way that shake, leave your mouth wide. You need to say grace for you say thanks. Amen. What's left in my life, don't know what's in store. I've been dealing with these blessings that I can't ignore. Putting up the numbers, we ain't keeping score. Amen. I here on the block, my side. Run it in the house for us 12 o'clock. Yeah, the hood love me, but you gotta watch. Amen. I just three, I don't do sleep. Yeah, tryna see movie. Yeah, we gon' fall through, coming through deep. Amen. Yeah, packed it from the south, moved it to the west. Iced the logo on the cross, threw it on my neck. Yeah, when I rep the set, gotta stay blessed. Yeah. Amen. People trying to say I'm only enemy. Got a code with my dogs.
The 49ers are now on the clock.
Give them life, no more energy. Amen. Man, what it meant to me. Everybody trying to take the identity. Everybody around me turn to a friend of me. Sit back while I take on a remedy. I cannot let it get into me. It's playing a toll on me, meant to me.
The Giants are now on the clock.
Picture me putting my city all over the map. They wasn't believers, I had to get even in mad. We coming up, pulling up, jumping all over your grass.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock.
So tell them I got a new girl. Tell them that I'm the back and I want on my.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
Check. I need 20 models. This is smiling in my grave, fresh to death. I've been Wu-Tang with a spectral deck. Yeah, I got that. I gotta just get off my chest.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
Take it how you want it. I ain't famous like I want it, but I think I might just skirt off. Blow the speakers and turn off. Pop up. Go to church with my shirt off. Tell the Lord that I'm here now. I've been waiting for so long.
The Ravens are now on the clock.
Like there's no laws and I did it for a long time. If you don't like me, take a ticket. There's a long line. Nice to meet me. I think the pleasure's all mine. They've been clocking me so long. I think they lost time. Ooh, you lost. What you mean? What you mean?
The Jets are now on the clock.
What you mean? Hold up. Whoa. What you mean? Don't know what you think. Compare me.
The Colts are now on the clock.
Adrenaline popping, the blood will be leaking and running. Yeah. I do what I do. I don't care if you like it or love it. Tell all of my I got a new girl.
The Saints are now on the clock.
I'm the bank and I want all my money in hundreds. I'm tired of living on the edge. I want it. They gon' call the feds. I just bought a cost an arm and leg. My mama told me take it back and get a job instead. Where's your common sense? Me and the devil got too much in common, I swear. Yeah. Born in the ghetto, I never had nothing to fear. Take it how you want it. I ain't famous like I want it, so I might just throw a hissy fit. Call up Cassie after she broke up with Diddy, yeah. I told Shorty if she talking, I ain't. And she gon' call her friends up and.
The Lions are now on the clock.
Talking, go chop off your lips. If I ain't in your top 10, go top 4 for bridge. My black boys, I got boys that knock off your lid. I doubt y'all gon' pop off, so hop off my. What you mean? I said, what you mean? Listen, I don't trust
The Bills are now on the clock.
I said, what you mean? Whoa. I said, what you mean?
You thought I was finished, you thought it was over. You thought I retired, you thought I went fishing with Kobe. I'm still as ill as considered as one of the coldest. Still a put a partner rapper here like Moses. I'm throwback like I'm Mola Roller. I'm cooler than a cup of yogurt. Black flag board, truck soldier. I'm cool with laws and Ayatollahs. Rap gods like Cyclops and Ogre. I'm King Kong, ain't nobody told you. Paul McCartney, I'm rich. I'm Muhammad Ali, I talk. I'm James Brown, about to tear down this. I'm Michael Jackson, them bad as bag gon' get it. What you mean?
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
I feel like that we are treated differently than other people, and I don't like how we're treated, and just because of us doesn't mean anything to me.
It's just the way I feel.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Yeah, it's just the way to deal.
The Falcons are now on the clock.
Problems alone, and I really can't take it no more. I've been fighting temptations, my Lord. I'm young and I'm restless, and I really can't.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
Selfish before, I've been living so reckless, I know. Tell me, Lord, you help me. I said, Lord, you help me. Now everybody got problems, yeah, but waiting no one way to solve them. I really came up from the bottom.
Struggling, my mama on the last dollar. Hustling, man, I've been putting in these hours. The government been trying to take away what's ours. Really all about the money and the power. I just want to see my people in power.
The Rams are now on the clock.
Shape this vision, complaining all day, but in the same condition. If you want to make change, it's gonna take commitment. Some people enslaved by their religion can't emancipate.
The Patriots are now on the clock.
Do optics transform the wisdom? Watch me use my prophets, get them on the list, and I've been on the mission. And I really can't take it no more. I've been fighting temptations, my Lord. I'm young and I'm restless, and I really can't help it. I never felt selfish before. I've been living so reckless, I know. Tell me, Lord, can you help me? I said, Lord, can you help me? Now everybody got fights, yeah, but wouldn't know what good advice was. Till they leave him lifeless. Another mama crying, it's another crisis. Lord knows we just trying to live righteous. Are you willing just to make the sacrifices? I know we can't continue living like this, and I never sell my soul cause that's priceless.
The Packers are now on the clock.
Tell me how we gonna make a living. Hustle on the block, who gonna save the children? Minutes on the plot and I'm just revealing. The media just trying to make a villain. I just take the pain and paint a picture. Voices in my head, I hear the whispers when I feel this way.
The Panthers are now on the clock.
And I really can't take it no more. I've been fighting temptations, my Lord. I'm young and I'm restless, and I really can't help it. I never felt selfish before. I've been living so reckless, I know. Tell me, Lord, can you help me? I said, Lord, can you help me? It's just the way I feel. Mom's been wasting so long. And I really can't take it no more. I've been fighting temptation, my Lord. I'm living in restless. I said, Lord, can you help me? I've never felt selfish before. I've been living so reckless, I know. To me, Lord, can you help me? I said, Lord, can you help me?
The Browns are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock.
Falling too fast to prepare for this. Tripping in the world could be dangerous. Everybody circling as vultures. Negative, nepotist. Everybody waiting for the fall of man. Everybody praying for the end of times. Everybody hoping they could be the one. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, whip, run me like a racehorse. Pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip, slip. Word upon your lip, lip. Ready, bitch.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Build me up, whatever it takes.
The Bears are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock.
Singing on to the visual, I wanna be invisible. Looking at my years like I'm out of dumb. Everybody needs to be a part of them. Never be enough from the prodigal son. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, whip, run me like a racehorse. Pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
Ready that you rip, rip. Break me down and build me up. Whatever it takes. is something that I'm proud of. Out of the box, an epoxy to the world and the vision we've lost. I'm an apostrophe. I'm just a symbol to remind you that there's more to see. I'm just a product of the system of catastrophe, and yet a masterpiece, and yet I'm half diseased. And when I am deceased, at least I go down to the grave and die happily, and leave the body of my soul to be a part of me. I do what it takes,
Whatever it takes, 'cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes, 'cause I love how it feels when I break the chains. Whatever it takes, yeah, take me to
The 49ers are now on the clock.
I do what it takes.
I look up.
The Giants are now on the clock.
So many. I done made sacrifices. So many sacrifices. Straight up. I done gave up so much free time, knowing time ain't free. I sacrificed it. My girl showed me love.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock.
And if it's real love, then you make sacrifices. To get ahead, man, you gotta.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
That's how hungry my appetite is. Yeah. What you telling me? I sense the jealousy. I got telepathy. I got the recipe. I got the streets and I don't got no felony for
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
It's gonna be whatever you let it be. It's some homies I grew up with that's dead to me. It's some that I just made a debt to me. What's in common is they both pay respect to me. I get in my way from
The Ravens are now on the clock.
I came a long way from that Marvin and I pull out the driveway like I'm in a car chase speeding. And if my she know I'm leaving. No text, no call, but at airplane.
The Jets are now on the clock.
No time to change clothes, same clothes. Love if you're living by the same code. G code, leave. You do that to me, back to my destiny. Penthouse, bird's eye view, that's a nest for me. I got myself out of debt, so when you see me, know you somebody I never need. Sacrifices. So many sacrifices. Straight up. I done gave up so much free time, knowing time ain't free. I sacrificed it. My girl showed me love, she know I make sacrifices. And if it's real love, then you make sacrifices. To get ahead, man, you gotta make sacrifices. That's how hungry my appetite is. Yeah. I cut the drama out my energy. Focus on an inner me, never on an enemy. And I done sacrificed my own time. I done sacrificed my own mind. I done sacrificed the club life. I done sacrificed my love life. Look, I cut the drama out my energy. Focus on an inner me, never on an enemy. And I done sacrificed my own time. I done sacrificed my own mind. I done sacrificed the club life. I done sacrificed my love life.
I done sacrificed the thug life. Diamond shining, ain't no dull light. Drop my top to get my mind right. Pull up in the Rari loud pipe. Them the dime, my wrist a Hyundai. Ooh, yeah, Gucci Python. Ooh, yeah, she play with her. Yeah, I bought that new charm. Pop on, I told her come see about me. Come on, come see. The devil had entered my soul. My mama had beat the devil, my mama. Remember my grandma had told me you better be somebody. Hop in my seats, massaging. Watch how I lead the posse. I made it.
The Colts are now on the clock.
With the game, sacrifice your strides for that stain. Sacrifice. Heard you sacrifice your life for that change. She sacrificed that money for what? Left hand got 3 rings. That's brum brum. We up one. Bad, dear savage. Take her to the mall and buy some. That's gonna wanna make your friends come. Make way with the timing. Tell me. Why can't y'all recognize that we are?
The Saints are now on the clock.
Why can't y'all recognize that we all came from sacrifice? 10 toes, yeah, you gotta stay down, eh? Just some yawn, looking for a way out, eh? People watching, yeah, I gotta skip town, eh? Hit my phone if you need a hold.
I done made sacrifices. So many sacrifices.
The Lions are now on the clock.
So much free time, knowing time ain't free. I sacrificed it. My girl showed me love, she know I make sacrifices. And if it's real love, then you make sacrifices.
The Bills are now on the clock.
To get ahead, man, you gotta make sacrifices. That's how hungry my appetite is. Yeah. I know my great auntie was a slave. I could only imagine all the sacrifice she made. I could only imagine all that she had to take. I'ma make sure all the she gave wasn't in vain. I sacrifice for your entertainment, boy. I'm Mr. Anderson in the Matrix. Shake the last name, it's all facts. In the human race, it's all about pace. Look at all the ones I outlasted. I'm the one at the end like I count backwards. Never satisfied, details classified till the afterlife. Make a sacrifice down.
Why can't y'all recognize that we all came from sacrifice?
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Recognize that we all came from sacrifice.
Yeah. Pulling up.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Must have done same with the roof.
Oh my goodness.
You sitting looking stupid on the stoop.
Oh my goodness.
I would take notes if I were you.
Oh my goodness.
This was designed with the stars, the square and the cross, so we know true north.
The Falcons are now on the clock.
50 carats in my jaw.
Oh my goodness.
The law. It's a shame, rhyme, crime. It's a shame they let us jump out of Bentleys with dirty vans.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
Get 30 bands. Swiss bank counting clean money with dirty hands. With some hood that's ready to with the. Since I came in and made my name a name brand. French. Paris clubbing like a caveman. We threw up the pyramids, now they say we Illuminati. I'm a tsunami, what the is a little yachty. No blood diamonds, I rock gold like a king. Jury so cold, made them blow the nose off the Sphinx. You think I'ma be some type of role model? I go full throttle, desperado, that's the motto. Vic in Chicago, it's you have at the grotto. Brazil free to Carlo, drinking it with an Alicia Machado. I'm the ticket, you just hit the lotto. Pulling up with the coupe.
Oh my goodness.
Must have done same with the roof.
Oh my goodness.
You sitting looking stupid on the stoop.
Oh my goodness.
I would take notes if I were you.
Oh my goodness.
This was designed with the stars, the square and the cross, so we know true north.
Oh my goodness.
Smiling with 50 carats in my jaw.
Oh my goodness.
The law, it's a shame, rhyme. Young Vic the diamonds, finest. I shine like puff shines if I sign to the rock cause I'm timeless. Top off the Mozzie, my behavior is mindless. On kids, we major, you minors. Fresh out the cell to the booth, drop the booth. I'm still in the hood, tell, shoot. Hope with a club. The judge, you rappers is false flagging, you a fashion. What's cuz, what you know about? What's V-Lo? Why Barry Lee, your head ringing? Free Vic.